I bought this in 2015. I've had students use this over the years in shows, and it still looks like this.
Hey, spin enthusiasts. So if you guys follow on Insta, you probably already know that I was in Florida this past weekend for a clinic, and I have the best staff in the world. And one of the things that has been requested, like tons and tons and tons, is that we do a review comparison look at different types of sabers so people know what kind of saber they need to get for what purpose. And we all have different sabers, so we were all going to bring our sabers to a camp one of these times, and we just kept forgetting. Like, one person would bring their saber and then nobody else would, and then like 3 or 4 people would bring sabers, and then like we just wouldn't have all the sabers. So we finally decided, okay, we're just gonna do it. We had 4 different sabers with us, and we did not have the Excalibur. And I didn't want to do a review of the Excalibur saber without actually physically having one, because I spun an Excalibur when I was at Blue Stars, but that was a long time ago. So I don't want to review the experience that I had back then, because I'm sure they've made product improvements and things like that. Anyway, this video has been a long time coming, and I hope you enjoy it. So Allie has the Sparring Sword, which is actually not a color guard saber. I bought it on eBay. It was $30.
Yeah, very, very big hand grip right there. But it seems to be shaped just right. It can work.
Nice.
Spins just fine.
$30 on eBay, not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Wow.
And Hakan is modeling the Samurai.
Samurai sword. I would say durability is a definite plus with the Samurai sword. The handle is riveted together very well, and there aren't a lot of individual pieces to it. I feel like the plastic would get eaten up if you rehearse on cement. I feel like that would get eaten up if you drop on cement a lot, but the rubber hilt, I think it's rubber, right?
It's like a plasticized rubber.
A plasticized rubber is a plus, because it won't get bent like a metal hilt would if you happen to drop as much as I do. I will say the downside a samurai sword is the weighting of it. It doesn't have as balanced of proportions as a king saber would, so when you spin it, it has a tendency to kind of wobble in your hand as you go, because you have to kind of tell it where to go. The lighter hilt doesn't pull the weight of it around while you spin.
And I have the Style Plus blade, and it's actually just called the blade. This style of saber, which is known as more the Spanish style of saber, I only know of 3 companies. So there's Style Plus, there's Excalibur, which is DSI, and then there's King. This style of the Spanish style blade is probably the least expensive one on the market, and it actually has a pretty good spin to it. But we can see that the spin point is actually very close to the hilt, which is where you want your spin point when you're spinning your equipment. These are actually very, very durable. This particular saber right here is, I bought used, so I don't know how old it was when I bought it, but I've had it since I think 2014 or 15, and I've had to let students use it throughout a whole season. And obviously they've dropped it and things. I work with a lot of regional A guards, and obviously we can see there's not really a lot of damage, like just some little things here on the hilt, but we see the hilt looks good, the blade still looks good, everything still looks really, really good.
The shape of that basket is nice too.
And yeah, I mean the shape on the basket, everything on this saber is really good. The only thing that tends to happen sometimes on this is that you'll get a little separation here, but that's just cured by a little bit of tape right there. So overall, really good saber. It has really the same weight as a king, I mean, quite honestly, and it's cut thin like a king as well. The blade itself is actually very, very thin to a king.
And then lastly, the King. This is an older model, and we'll go into the differences between the older and newer model in a minute. Same as the previous one, the blade. On the back side of it, it's a little thicker, and it tapers off, and it comes to a thinner, more aerodynamic side. It's very, very nicely balanced. It feels very light in the hands. It spins right where it should be. As far as the differences between the old models and the new models, the handle's in different pieces. And what happens is this screw kind of unlocks them, which is right there. So this would come apart, and then the blade would come out. I used to have these at my high school, and we ran into an issue of this metal part on the older ones actually snapping when being dropped on harder floors, because we practice a lot on tile. And the great thing about the newer Kings is they've made this one piece. And since I've gotten the newer Kings, I haven't had it break once. What happens is right here on these older ones, it snaps, the hilt can come apart. But the newer ones have been perfect. I've had them for 4 years now. My band practices on asphalt and tile, and we have yet to have one break on us. So as far as aerodynamic, it's great. As far as durability, the newer models are fantastic, and it feels light in the hands, which is really, really nice.
I'll just say one thing about these two blades together. We don't have the Excalibur blade here by DSI, but I'll just say one of the things with these two blades together, because they do spin so similar, if you are a guard who you have a great band booster program, you've got the money, go for the King. All right, I'm just gonna say that, go for the King. However, if you're a program that you're up and coming, you don't have the funds as of yet, but you still want to get this Spanish style blades, I would highly recommend going for the Style Plus blade. For a 36 inch, which is what this is, you could probably get this for around $100 a blade. I have seen some websites that will sell these for $90 a blade, and that's not a bad price. This is for the 36. Whereas like the King, you're gonna pay minimum $190 to $200 for 36. So it's about $100 difference between these two.
Thanks guys for watching. Make sure you like and share this video. Go to our store if you want cute merch shirts like what Maggie's got on over here.
I ordered one, it's not here yet, but it's on the way.
And make sure that you always share this with your team, because color guard is so much more fun when you do it on a team. And I'm so glad you guys are my team.
Thank you.
Oh, shoot, here they come.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
I thought this
No,
was
you
a
can be.
picture.
No,
It's
it's
a
a
video?
video. It's
Oh,
a
this
video.
is a
video.
This is the conclusion of the video.